And we're live, everybody. House Party 5v5. We got the Premier League Season 4, Week 3 coming at ya. I'm Thunderdome.
And I'm Deck Club Ace. Alright guys, we are already getting these bands coming out, and we have, of course, on the blue side, Zani Superstars. On the red side, we've got Team 7. And seeing these bands, Vayne has been a power pick in a lot of games, not just limited to the Premier League, but just overall because of this Juggernaut meta that's kind of risen. And Vayne is a fairly good AD carry against Juggernauts. A couple of quick bans coming out, though.
Yeah, taking Malphite and Kennen off the table shows that Team 7 does not want to play against any type of wombo combo with those targeted bans against the Zani Superstars. Zani's going to answer with Talon and Victor more target bans towards SW in the mid lane, some of his favorite champions.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a very good move because a lot of the gameplay of Team 7 tends to revolve around the mid lane. Not just whether or not SW is doing well, but they want SW to be able to roam around and assassinate people. And whether or not he's going to play, say, a Zed or a LeBlanc remains to be seen because they're not necessarily in the best place right now. The last Darius ban, of course, he's a little bit oppressive in top lane right now.
A little bit.
A little bit. It could be worse. He could be Garen.
That is true. You got some counterplay against them with zone control and CC, but with the likes of Victor and Kennen off the table, it makes that a little bit harder. Darius, just a well-rounded ban altogether early on in the draft. If they don't intend on playing it, especially on the purple side when you cannot first pick it, it's just dangerous to leave something that powerful open.
That's true. I'm very curious to see what Zani Superstars here is going to use as their first pick, because, as you said, this is a contested pick. Are they willing to take a top lane, because a lot of top laners are very strong? Are they willing to take a mid laner that they think SW wants to play? So would they take the Orianna away from him? Would they take... No, it looks like they might want to go for their AD carry.
Pretty safe AD carry.
Yeah, the Corki first pick, I don't necessarily disagree with it. I think that it's a little early to take it, particularly against an AD carry who doesn't really play Corki. Like, Zhao doesn't actually play a lot of Corkis, so I don't really see why that would be a heavily contested pick, unless they didn't want to show anything else, and they're certain that, okay, we know we want Corki regardless of the team comp.
And Braum getting through the pick and ban, he's extremely powerful right now, but also the fact that Mycroft loves to play Braum. It's honestly his best champion when it comes down to it, so they left that open. They must be pretty confident in this bottom lane to blind pick the AD carry and leave one of the power picks open for Team 7. Ezreal right now, because he got the extra attack damage scaling on his arcane shift, he's become a very powerful pick these days. Ezreal's always been pretty good. He's always been floating around that underpowered on the OP scale, but he's always been a solid... Okay. Anyways, they lock in the Gnar, another great top laner who's seen so much play this season.
I think the thing about Gnar is that he actually kind of benefited from the Juggernaut craze, because he's not a Juggernaut himself, but he does like some of the Juggernaut items. Like, he does sometimes want to build the Deadman's Plate, because it gives him a nice amount of defenses. It works for him better than, say, a Sunfire Cape does. Maybe not necessarily better than a Random Zoman, but it gives him a little bit of bonus movement speed, which he does kind of need when he's in Mega form, if his leap isn't up. And the amount of damage that he can put out between his ranged form and then his melee form is very, very strong in the laning phase. Trundle locked in. Not sure if that's going to be a jungle Trundle or a top Trundle yet. I will assume that it's going to be a jungle Trundle for now, but you never know.
He could get out of control if Trundle's able to stack that Devour. He could be a huge menace, but the Juggernaut build works perfectly fine on him. He likes to build tanky. If he gets Blade of the Ruined King, that's one of his great offensive items, and then you can go straight tank from there, and he still does insane amounts of damage. Trundle can also be flexed to support. We've seen that a few times, but not out of these players yet. Morgana, another flex pick. She can go top lane, she can go mid lane, she can go support. So there's a lot of versatility in these early picks from Zani to try and get some counter picks.
Well, I think the important thing about the Trundle is that it doesn't matter if he goes into top or jungle, his build's going to be the same. He's going to build a Blade of the Ruined King, he's going to build a Sterix Gauge, probably, or a Dead Man's Blade, and he's going to build a Titanic Hydra, because those are all really strong items on him right now.
They're offensively defensive.
Right. They give him a lot of health. He can steal resistances away from another tank, so if, for example, Gnar goes Mega, he can say, okay, well, I'm going to ult you now, and I'm going to go kill somebody else. I'll be right back. We did see the lock-ins from the other side, but I want to talk about Zani here, because they locked in Renekton and Zed, which means that they're relying on the mixed damage of Corki and the base magic damages of Morgana, rather than having their own magic damage carry. So they're going for this very heavy AD comp, and I kind of like it, because both Renekton and Zed can build some kind of armor pen.
And they're going to benefit greatly from that shred on Corki as well. They've got the mixed damage, they've got the shred damage. It looks like a weird team comp, but it's very well organized and planned out. That also explains why they locked Corki first, knowing they need some mid-game power, as well as AP damage. If we look on Team 7, they decide to go with Kha'Zix in the jungle. He might be able to pick off Trundle early, but if he's able to get that snowball rolling, he's going to be pretty hard to stop.
Well, I think if you look in terms of jungler prowess, like, seeing a Kha'Zix in the jungle, if he isn't doing a lot of invading, or if he isn't doing a lot of ganking early, then he is just going to fall behind Trundle. The thing about Trundle's strengths is he can win a trade by just walking into lane and dropping a pillar between the opponent and the tower. They now have to use some kind of movement over it. Now, this won't work in mid lane because SW is playing LeBlanc, so he has to be a little bit more careful about when he uses the pillar. But if he goes bot lane, all he has to do is show up, drop the pillar, and now, because they have the immobile Jinx and they have Braum, there's no way for them to just kind of slowly walk around it. They have to actually flash over it, or they have to commit to a fight and hope that it works out for them, or just take a lot of damage in a trade.
So if you're looking from the perspective of Team 7, Braum might be able to shield the Dark Binding, but they're still going to be zoned to a certain area where Corki's going to be able to hit all those skill shots with relative ease. Even if Jinx does throw the traps down, it's a really dangerous gank position to be in, just because of how much zone you mentioned coming from the Icicle Pillar.
Now, I do kind of want to talk about this LeBlanc, because SW does very much enjoy LeBlanc, and is very accomplished at playing LeBlanc. But LeBlanc versus Zed is kind of a weird matchup, because Zed can actually benefit from building a Hex Drinker early. It gives him a nice amount of damage, it gives him that magic shield. LeBlanc can't do the same thing. She can't go into a Zhonya's early. She needs the CDR, she needs the mana regen. So it's very unlikely that he's going to commit to building a full Zhonya's. It is possible that he might go for a Seekers and then build into like a Morellonomicon or something like that. I don't expect him to try and go full burst. I think he's going to be going for more of a utility LeBlanc early game, and then transition that into a I'm going to kill Corki mid game, because he might be able to kill Zed. It is possible for him to kill Zed, but it is much more likely for him to kill Corki.
And there's no way SW is going to be able to one-shot Renekton or Trundle, even if they are going offensive early, to use that early damage to their advantage. LeBlanc doesn't want to aim for one of those big guys anyways, and come late game she's not going to be able to do anything but give him a little bit of harass. So I like what you said there, she has to get Corki.
And that's fine, because that does mean that Corki has to play incredibly safe. Americrean needs to watch out constantly, because SW is going to be getting all this vision. They're going to try and do as much as they can, and the thing that Team 7 needs to do to be able to at least win in the mid game is take control of the vision. They need as much control of the enemy jungle as possible in terms of getting the vision out, because they need to be able to kill Corki before he can get in the fight. They need to be able to put out a lot of harass so that Jixer can't come in with Trundle. And overall, I think it's going to be a really weird team comp. They have this sort of like pick comp versus a sort of almost a pick comp, but not really. It's like a team fighting pick comp. But
yeah, it's quite interesting.
We'll see more of that when we get to the Rift. Caster's going to be taking a short break during the load screen. See you guys in a bit. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the House Party 5v5 first game of the day. We are already getting in this game. A little bit of a pause at the start. Zani Superstars on the blue side, Team 7 on the red side. I am Declavase, and I am, of course, joined by Thunder.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Excited to be here. Beautiful day on the Rift. Renekton's got that tank top. It's a sunny day. We expect to see some exceptional plays out of both of these teams.
That's a shame Boss didn't play Leona. It could be a little bit more sunny, but that's okay.
Old Brahm's got a warm heart. Alright, so the red ward offensively, seeing if they manage to walk out of this bush, they will be instantly spotted on the invade here if they choose to go for the late invade.
Yeah, I have to commend Team 7 here on their vision control in this particular area. They set up the perfect counter to this sort of invade because you'll notice there's a nice triangle of wards. There's a ward behind them, there's a ward in front of them, and if they manage to somehow go out, run all the way around the red buff and come up towards the river from there, there's also a ward in the river. So there's no way that they can invade this bot side jungle. It's the safest way they could have done that.
And it worked out great for them. They didn't get information of the 5-man stack, but they were able to essentially ward off with the defensive play. And they didn't walk into any invade, which looked like Zani was hoping they might face check that bush and punish them with the 5-man.
I think that they were expecting an SW invade, and of course Team 7 said, no, we're not going to do that. We know better than that. Because if you look at their teams, in that situation, Zani Superstars wins that invade. There's just not enough damage that early.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the 1.5 second binding from Morgana, that's just, it's insane. If Renekton picks up his stun as well.
Which he will, because it's some easy CSing early on, and it will punish Jetstone if he gets too close. SW went for a little bit of harass, but he's taking some harass on his own, so it's not really worth it in the end.
Yeah, and Zed's definitely got the damage advantage early on. Oh, we have an invade from Syria's Empress here. Jixer manages to get the red buff, but he might miss the XP on these small creeps if Siri sticks around. No mid laners, and he's going in. He's slabbing him with the claws. The chomp is down. Siri's gonna have to jump over the wall. A lot of time wasted, and Jixer definitely coming out on top with that trade.
I think that he was expecting to maybe be able to steal the red, but he just didn't have the amount of time to get there and be prepared for it. And unfortunately, it just kind of worked out in Jixer's favor. He got Siri down to half health. Siri had to go get the Scuttle, actually, and now has to go back before he's even gotten his red buff. I almost think that Jixer could have risked going straight from his red buff to Siri's red buff, because what's Siri going to do? Fight him at his red buff?
Especially after being low health like that, that would have been an easy fight for Jixer to win. Oh, Kurtong getting the stun onto Jetstone, however the third proc from Hyper is out. Jetstone might be able to get one more, but the minions zone him off.
You're going to be seeing a lot of trades like that because ideally when you're in a situation like this where you're playing against not just Gnar, but any ranged threat. Uh-oh, SW is...
Uh-oh, he's in a dangerous spot, taking a turret shot as well. The Ignites down. Hamilton gets the first solo kill of the game. First blood going over to Zani Superstars.
Oh, well. I was going to say, SW, that's a little bit risky, and of course, he distortions directly into the tower.
Even if he didn't hit into the tower, the Jixer was there for the backup.
That's true, but the thing was, he still had the distortion mark down, so if he hadn't taken the tower shot, and overly committed to that while he had less health, he could return to the distortion mark. Jixer comes in, maybe drops the pillar, and then he gets SW's flash, but SW doesn't die. And SW not dying early is really important.
Absolutely, and Kurtong and Jetstone just going at it. Jet getting pretty close to Mega, poking him off with the boomerang. There's a lot of back and forth in this top lane. However, Kurtong is up in CS.
The thing about having a Renekton versus Gnar lane is that Gnar doesn't have a lot of sustain per se. He He does a lot of damage at range and then trades it in. Uh-oh.
Oh, the binding lands. However, the winner's bite is on America Korean. He's got the black shield. It stops the stun, and Jixer's here for backup. The Flame Chomper zoning off, but Jixer lands a beautiful pillar, and Zoe is in some trouble. He gets hit by the binding. The Tormented Soil is down. He flashes away, but the teleport is being channeled from the top lane. SW's here as well. America Korean going low. Jetstone picks up the kill on Jixer. There might be one more. However, Kurtong is channeling his teleport as well. He's coming in right behind SW Jetstone, but he doesn't know that Siri's here, leaping in, getting the fear. He's tasting it, but it's not enough. SW gets the kill via distortion. The chain lands, and Siri picks up another one.
I have to say, Kurtong, that was a good teleport. That was a good reaction to what happened there. The only person that died on Team 7's side was Mycroft. And I was confused for a second, because we know that America Korean hit SW with the Phosphorus Bomb. We know that it hit him, and then it procced his clone. So we know that the correct SW was marked, and Kurtong walked right past him while having vision of him because of the Phosphorus Bomb. Didn't even hit him.
That's just a misplay on awareness. I don't think it's really a mechanical issue. That's just you weren't paying too much attention. There's a lot of action going on. So many people coming from different directions. A lot to look for, and if you overlook just something so slight as that, it can completely turn it for your team.
And the trick about fighting against LeBlanc, in the same way of fighting against Shaco, is if you click on the LeBlanc or Shaco that you see.
Oh, America Korean getting almost hit by the traps. He gets hit by Zap one more. Mycroft is tanking it up, but it's not enough to get him in there. However, he will have to base. Jetstone using the blue buff in the top lane to get a lot of these procs, harasses with the boomerang, and he's coming up on top now.
But anyway, when clicking on a clone of a champion, if it doesn't have buffs, it's the wrong one. Or if it doesn't have buffs or items, it's the wrong one. Because the clones never have items.
You can left-click them and see that? That's not even...
Yes, you can.
Wow. Anyways, Jetstone going in on Kurtong. He lands the wall up. Here comes the rock. He's slamming it down on him. He's going to be able to gnar him into the wall. He does. He gets the solo kill. However, Jixer has found Siri. Siri might be in trouble getting slowed by the pillar. The solo damage is not enough when he's tasting his fear, and Jixer gets out with the kill. However, Jetstone is back again. He's focusing him down. He's so close to getting the kill. Oh, he jukes him through the bush, but the boomerang lands over the wall, and he picks up the kill with the last auto attack.
You know, it was sad because he did a good juke. That was a good move, but he had minions following him. So, unfortunately, they gave him vision enough to be able to get an auto attack out with the boomerang. And meanwhile, we saw in mid lane, Hamilton managing to get another kill out on SW. That was a solo kill. And it's just really unfortunate because SW is getting in these situations where he's trying to fight and he's trying to trade, and he can't. He's behind. He needs to not be doing that.
And he needs to be roaming. That's the best way to pick up those kills on LeBlanc when you're behind. Unfortunately, you do miss CS and experience from not being in lane. But if he keeps going in for these solo kills, he's going to keep getting farther and farther behind to Hamilton, and Zed will inevitably scale better because he's an AD champion.
At this point, when you are behind,
taking another turret shot, it looked like.
Ugh. You want to be able to roam to a lane that is either winning or roam to a lane where you can make a noticeable impact. That lane is not bot lane, because all it takes is for the boss to hold on to the black shield and wait, and then the binding does nothing.
Speaking of the binding, it hits Mycroft. America Korean dropping the Phosphorus Bomb. However, the traps are out boss with timely black shield. However, America Korean steps out of the way just in time.
Jixer's lurking in the coattails. He's hiding out in this bush in the back here.
Lane ganks are so potent once you pushed up the lane, and you know the enemies do not have a ward in that bush yet. You can almost always surprise them with that gank, and it's guaranteed to work so well. America Korean going extremely low, though.
I think that was actually a calculated play from America Korean, but it didn't get the response that he wanted. He was expecting, okay, maybe they'll dive me if they see that I'm really low. But no, they aren't. They're playing it safe, and that's good.
Caught again. Sorry. I thought there was going to be more to follow that up, as you were.
No, The problem is that boss right now is really low on mana because he's been throwing out these bindings constantly to try and bait out the fight with Jixer. And Jixer's still lurking here. There's nothing else for him to really accomplish because he can't make a huge impact top lane. And
oh, here he comes.
Uh-oh.
He's got the frozen ground down, but he gets caught up. Oh my god, the flash binding from Boss catches Mycroft. They're going at him. He's being chomped and slow with the red buff. One more hit. He burns down for the last one. Jixer gets stunned from the Winter's Bite. Zoe dishing out the AoE with the rockets from long range. However, it's a 3v1. It would be dangerous for him to go in any farther.
And it looks like we're seeing Hamilton kind of roaming over to get some vision onto that blue buff. Doesn't realize there's a pink word there, but SW is...
Dragon is being started up by Zani. This could be dangerous. They're a little bit low. However, Hamilton does know that SW went to base, so it's a smart call, but risky if Jinx decides to shoot a rocket over there.
Well, they know that Jinx's Super Mega Death Rocket is down, because Jixer caught it so it wouldn't kill America Reed.
Sorry, I just wasn't paying attention enough.
So we do know that was safe. The most dangerous thing that could have happened was Ciri comes in invised and possibly kills him. They know that they had complete vision control and there was nothing there to stop them. So good call on that. Right now though, Kurt Kong is feeling the pressure in top lane. He's getting kind of zoned out by Jetstone fairly often. He's going to be getting his Tiamat soon. He does have the gold to be able to pick it up, but he doesn't want to back yet because he doesn't want to have to give up his teleport this early.
Yeah, and Jetstone is winning this lane significantly in kills, but Kurtong doing a great job to keep up with the CS. However, a lot more damage is going down on his target. Zani Superstar is in danger of losing this top within the next 5 minutes.
Oh, very easily. Looks like Ciri's gonna get some wards cleared, no problem.
And one thing to note is the jungle items. Cinderhulk picked up by Jixer, he's going to be this massive tank who's going to be able to drain the stats out of Gnar or Braum, whichever he chooses, and he's going to be darn near unkillable. And Kha'Zix going with the early damage for the warrior, trying to get his lane or himself snowballed before they run into the late game powerhouse that will be Jixer.
Now the question is, what is he going to do with the double longswords? Because my assumption is that he's going to build that into another brutalizer and build a Youmuu's or something, so that he can get a little bit more DPS out in his trades whenever he goes invisible.
Yeah, having that armor pen is really useful for his Q ability because it's a targeted AD spell, and that's when armor pen works extremely well to make those do full damage.
Yeah, I can only think that SW hasn't gotten an opportunity to play LeBlanc as much recently as he probably wanted to. There haven't been a lot of situations where he could, because a lot of the mistakes he's making are like...
Oh, here comes Jixer in the bottom lane. The binding's down to Mycroft. That's a kill with the pillar, locking him in. However, teleport being channeled by Jetstone. He's 3-0-2, and he wants to make an impact. He's almost mega. He's dashing in. That's going to be a kill going over to Boss. Unless America Korean and Kurtong have something else to say about it. Hamilton, on the meanwhile, gets a kill onto Jinx after his roam from mid lane. America Korean just getting out with one last bit of HP. He gets taken down.
That was quite the bit of happy feet there, America Korean, managing to swerve to dodge that last boulder. Definitely would have killed him, but very good movement. And Hamilton coming down with the perfect roam, managing to cut off Zoe, so there was no way he could get out.
Kurtong's going for Series Empress. He just chunks him. So much damage coming from his stun, and Jixer lands the pillar, gets a slow, but Ciri uses his invisibility to get away. Just in time, Mycroft is there to help zone off, but Team 7 loses their bottom lane turret. Zani Superstars, they're up a dragon, they're up a turret, and they're up 2k gold.
Meanwhile, in mid lane, yet another solo kill coming out from Hamilton onto SW. He even tower dove for this one. And it looks
he's
like
just so far ahead of SW.
He's just going to go for this tower. Ciri, you do not want to be here.
That's the beauty of having an AD mid laner. You can push these objectives so strongly if you're able to get your enemy laner out of the lane via pushing the wave, or if they go roam. It's really easy to take those objectives and punish the enemy.
And see, it's weird that you say that, because SW right now is unable to punish Hamilton's decision, because Hamilton didn't buy a hex trigger. He has only bought offensive items. Siri is getting kind of low. Oh, never mind, he's fine.
He's got smite, he's alright. Jet's about to go Mega. Unfortunately, when you go Mega, you can't get extra damage on the turret because you're forced away. Because if Kurtong's able to get a stun on you and somehow either have the turret damage or the minion aggro hit you, Jet will lose that trade. Oh, but he's going in on Kurtong. He's getting Mini, though. It's not the situation he wants to see, but he's so far ahead. He's already got the Black Cleaver and Ninja Tabi finished. He's just outstatting Kurtong across the board.
See, here's what I don't understand. Why would you suddenly stop building the Tiamat, which is imperative to your wave clear and important for resetting the animation on your stun, to build Phage? He's going into a Black Cleaver, and he doesn't need to build one right now. Because Black Cleaver's not going to help him fight Jet.
Ooh, the boss shoots a Dark Binding, but SW dodges it just in the nick of time. This could be the mid lane turret going down to Zani's Superstars. However, Jetstone is on the roam and he's Mega. He might not make it in time before that bar wears off. Hamilton lurking in the bushes. He sees it coming. However, Jixer's on the other side of the wing, just waiting to get that opportunity to throw the pillar. And Jetstone goes in, gets a Gnar on Hamilton, American Korean in the wall. Mycroft jumps to him, hits the ulti down. Hamilton's going extremely low, he's exhausted, he might get out. Jetstone is down. Mycroft is going extremely low. Boss gets multiple bindings from the Shoal Shackles. Jixer gets taken out by Siri at the last second. SW makes a snipe onto Hamilton, getting the shutdown going. Jukes backwards through the distortion and makes it out alive. Here's Zoe. She wants to clean up these fights. Jinx is dropping down the rockets. However, Boss, American Korean are a potential threat, and she does not want to go too overextended with SW so low.
Be careful, SW. You don't have very much health left, and you're almost out of mana.
Yeah, it's a dangerous spot. Zoe, a little bit overzealous here. Luckily, he's able to sidestep that binding. SW, you need to get out. You need to heal, man. Cut the losses before they happen. He goes into American Korean. He gets burned down by the boss. He gets him, but Zoe is able to pick up the kill with a fadeaway rocket. She gets excited and runs to safety. Dragon is on the table. Let's see which team will get there first.
I don't even know if I would call that worth, because that was such an unnecessary risk from SW. At this point, they don't want to be trading even. They want to take what they got. They didn't lose very much in comparison to how much they gained from that fight.
Yeah, I mean, the team who's ahead is still trading a 1-for-1 in that scenario. They have the turret advantage and the dragon advantage. It's just putting SW farther and farther behind. Maybe if he was going for the shutdown, but the champion wasn't on a streak at that point, so yes, he gets a little extra gold, but he's giving the same amount right back to the enemies. Jixer's top lane, this could be an easy dragon for Team 7 if they make the movements now, but Hamilton and the boss are waiting in the wings. He goes in, Deathmark is down on Siri. He gets the Blade Surge, it's not enough damage, he has to get to safety because Mycroft and Zoe are there. However, Siri leaps over the wall, goes and builds, there's the Mega Death Rocket, it misses by inches. Boss is there to give him some backup, but right now Team 7 has such an advantage for this dragon. They've got the zone control. SW's leaping over the wall just to make sure nobody's there to make a cheeky steal, and that's going to be a dragon secured for Team 7, the first one of theirs for this game.
I think that it was really risky for them to use Jixer to push back top lane.
Hamilton's in trouble. He gets hit by the Winter's Bite. There's one more auto attack. Zoe gets a kill. That's a second one for this game, and Jinx might be starting this snowball.
Jixer.
Jetstone in trouble. He's going mini at the last second. Kurtong with the Ruthless Predator gets a stun. He's slowing him down with the boomerang. Jetstone in so much danger. Hops the wall away from the frozen terrain. Jixer and Kurtong unable to continue the chase, with Team 7 having two more members, SW and Siri, lurking in the wings. At the same time, in the bottom lane, Zoe and Mycroft are pushing for this turret. Jinx is a monster when it comes to taking these. Zani Superstar is in trouble. They are gonna lose an objective here, even with America Korean to steal it. Oh my god, SW lands the chains onto Jixer. Is he gonna burn down from the ignite? It's enough! He gets the kill!
That is a better risk. That was very low risk because there's no way Kurtong is going to come in when Jetstone is right there. That's an understandable kill. Power to the SW, good move. Good moves all across the map coming from Team 7 actually. They managed to get not just one turret, but they got a second turret bot lane too. So they have managed to make up for the fact that they were behind early. They've almost caught up in gold. They're 4 kills behind. They got a dragon for themselves, so the dragons are even.
SW going for Kurtong along with Jetstone, but he's mini. It might not be the right call. He's ignited. He's bound by the soul shackles, and Boss is going to steal his soul away. Kurtong picking up the assist on it, but the tower, it lives with 33 HP. Hamilton on the chase. Yomu's is popped. SW flashes away. However, this could be easy for Hamilton. The death mark is down. Even with the flash, she goes right back to his initial shadow, and he pops it in style. Shadow Slash securing the kill.
I don't know. At that point, if you've gotten hit by the ult, the base damage will kill you if you're that low.
That is true.
There's no point in using anything else. It's not worth the resources. You're gonna die.
Zani Superstars attempting to answer, but they're getting zoned off the objectives.
Now, we do see a couple of things coming out. Kurtong does have his Black Cleaver now, although that means he's quite a bit behind Jetstone in terms of item completion. Titanic Hydra coming out for Jixer, and like I said, Titanic Hydra is very strong, particularly on Trundle, who gets even stronger whenever he ults somebody with it. So that's going to be very useful for him in the team fights, assuming they can even get any. These have just been skirmishes left and right, and they haven't really been able to control the tempo of the game anymore.
Yeah, they lost a little bit of map control as well. Right now, neither team's warding exceptionally better than the other. They're pretty even in that term. Oh, Jixer getting caught out by Zoe. Or is it the other way around? Trundle is on a rampage. Mycroft giving him the zone potential through the glacial chasm. However, Jixer goes back in. The teleport is being channeled. And Jetstone answering with his own teleport as well. America Korean in a bad spot. There's quite a few members over there. Hamilton over the wall, zoning the rest of the team out. SW goes extremely low. Deathmark is down on Syria's Empress. However, Hamilton takes a massive amount of damage. The Mega Death Rocket goes in, but it's not enough. Siri jumps the wall to be sniped down by the boss. However, Jetstone is about to get Mega. They do not want to take a fight with him in that form.
Oh man, that was so unfortunate for Siri. Like, I know that was the only direction he could go, but he jumped into 2 members of Zani Superstars, so...
Uh-oh,
my thoughts
Boss
go to
catching
you.
out Jetstone. Okay, is there follow-up from America Korean? And the boomerang is down to slow him. Here comes Kurtong. And SW's waiting in the wings. They don't want to face check a bush just in case.
Well, Dragon will be coming up in another minute and 50 seconds, so we're going to see a lot of vision control going out towards there. There are 3 pink wards coming out from Team 7 just in that area. 1 on their blue buff, and then 2 to kind of protect that river. Looks like that,
Jetstone, swag turret.
The one hit on that turret. It looks like Zani Superstars is interested in trying to just push down this tower. SW has to blow all of his abilities just to clear out that minion wave.
Uh-oh, is this Hamilton? Did he find Jet? He has not. Sorry.
Nah, Jet managed to recall in time. Everything's fine.
Alrighty, Zani Superstars setting up for a siege potential with Hamilton splitting on the wings. He's 7-3-2 with the second most farm in the game. He's a pretty massive threat who will not be able to be dealt with when a one-on-one scenario. So Zani Superstars using that advantage to control more of the map. They're clearing out some of these pink wards, but OSW fails the distortion over the wall. That is one of the hardest walls to get it over. I almost never see that completed even in the professional scene.
You basically have to be standing completely against the wall to be able to go over it, and it's very hard to do in a short span of time. And I have to say, I like what Zani Superstars is doing with this, because it is okay for them to potentially give up
is
the
SW
dragon.
getting caught out? The pillar lands but knocks him out of the range of the binding. However, there are some flame chompers down. He gets extremely low. Hamilton going on Jetstone. However, Sirius Empress there. Deathmark to dodge it out. He cannot make it out from the point and click of Sirius Empress, chopping him down with the claws.
Unfortunate. I was going to say I think that it's a good idea to have Hamilton splitting because they don't care if they lose the second dragon for their team, because each team will get second dragon. So
Boss is going extremely low, but he lands the binding on Zhao. Flashes out of the way of the Mega Death Rocket, but here comes Jetstone and Sirius the Empress. The pillar's down for more zone, but Jixer gets slain by Siri. He gets the reset from Leap. That's 2. Is this 3? It could be some more, but America Korean gets the shutdown on him. Sirius Mycroft doing what he can with his big muscly body to defend them. Kurtong is going so low, but he has the ult pot. Here comes Jetstone, gnars him into the turret. They're diving under the tier 2. Zoe is excited and is able to run away after picking up the double kill.
Oh, Zoe, you need to run. You need to run out of here
comes
right
Hamilton.
now.
Is he going to get? He's going to shadow over the wall. Yomu's is popped. Shadow's in. He lands right on top of the chompers, but it doesn't matter because he already started casting the spells. He gets the kill on Zoe, and SW is forced to wander through the jungle, might be finding a blue buff.
Zoe, you were a victim of circumstance. You probably should have run towards the turret and just died.
With the get excited, she might have been able to get out. Oh, Boss comes here, does not steal the blue buff, but forces a flash from SW, who finds himself caught between Hamilton, Boss, and the Baron Nashor. Ignite is down, so is Deathmark. The instant Zani is to get away from the damage, but Jixer's here to clean up. They might translate that into Baron right now. Zani Superstars, 25.5 minutes into the game, could be looking to secure the first Baron. However, Team 7 is roaming through the jungle. They're on the way, but are Mycroft and Jetstone enough to secure it? Teleport is channeled from Kurtong. Binding lands on Mycroft. They have vision of it. They've got a ward in the pit, but Jetstone will need a godlike play to steal this, and he's not going to go for it. The rocket hits Kurtong. He's low. Mycroft is trying to slow him down, but the pillar is zoning off the rest of the team. Zani Superstar is going to walk out safe and sound.
I like the mindset that had to have been going for, because it was like, it's like, okay, we just killed SW. Oh, Baron, I guess you did pull it. Don't mind if we do. And
yeah,
just a good play, and it looks like, although they lost the Baron, they're going to try and get the second dragon. Not the best trade in the world, but as long as they don't lose any towers for it, I guess it's not a terrible trade.
Well, they're now going to have to deal with a potential siege/split push. Hamilton going to take those Baron minions in one lane, the other 4 of them in the other lane. But, as you mentioned, it's important for them to keep trading. Even if they are on the losing end of the trade, the fact that they're able to secure the dragon after it means they're not getting extremely far behind, just a little bit farther behind. And that could be key to extending this game to the late game, where Zoe and Mycroft and Jetstone are going to be able to take over in the team fights.
Yeah, the thing when it gets to late game is that a full-built LeBlanc is able to do a lot of damage even to tanks. So SW might not be able to burst anybody, but he will be able... Uh-oh, he tried to get the corner dash and failed.
That might have been dangerous, though, going in a straight line against Morgana. Her Dark Binding will be able to follow you back over. We'll call it a stroke of luck that he didn't make it over that wall.
It was a stroke of dumb luck that he didn't make it over that wall. Although, I don't really know if Zani Superstars was in a position to engage on him, even if they did land the binding. They don't have anybody that can just jump over that wall to actually kill him. Well, they have Hamilton, but Hamilton wasn't close enough to be able to do that.
That is true, and that's why the pillar comes into so much play. Jixer is going to have to be extremely clutch where he locates those, because if they do waste it, they have a lot of guys who have to walk to them. They don't have a lot of gap closers outside of Hamilton using the Living Shadow. SW going to get some poke on American Korean. The chain isn't going to get the second proc. The pillar's going to zone him off. Mycroft leaping in to give him some defense. Encouragement. A mere pat on the shoulder. But the Baroned up team is now being put on the defensive. That is not what you want to feel like when you've got such a lead.
This is exactly what Team 7 wants, though. They've managed to force them back. Baron has only a little bit longer, probably about another 20 or 30 seconds left.
They haven't even gotten any turret damage either. Team 7 completely neutralizing this Baron up until now. Zani Superstars just getting to their tier 2 turret. They might be able to take it down here at the last... Oh, Hamilton chunks out Zoe. However, he goes in with the death mark. He finds himself in the middle of the team. Teleport being channeled on the turret, but it might die before Jetstone lands there. Series Empress gets the assassination, but he might find himself on the same end of that. Karma comes right back around, but not the champion. Kurtong slashing through these. This crocodile is huge. They're gonna continue the push for Zani and Superstars. They've got one more minion, but it's a little dangerous to dive it. But they have a backup wave. Jetstone and SW, the only ones left for about 20 seconds. Oh, does the binding just barely misses? SW chunking them down. Kurtong slays her instantly. Jetstone lands the Gnar into the turret, but it's not enough. The ace coming out for Zani Superstars after they pick up the turret.
That was a ridiculously messy fight. We even thought that the teleport was going to the tower, but it wasn't. It was actually going for a minion that was caught between the tower and the wall.
Completely fooled me there. Is it death rocket?
Doesn't hit anybody. Uh-oh.
Unless America Korean lands in base right as it goes. Hamilton blocks it, but his buddy hadn't returned yet. So
okay. Okay, that was almost a terrifying kill, but so a lot happened there. We saw Hamilton manage to get a huge chunk of damage on Giselle really early, blew a whole bunch of stuff trying to protect him, and then realizing, oh, okay, I could probably kill him. I think killing him is worth maybe dying. So he dives in, gets onto Zhao, kills Zhao really fast, and still manages to get out. Sure, he ends up getting killed by SW eventually, but he puts Siri low enough that afterwards, Siri dies as well. So just overall, they only traded 2 people for 5.
And the turret, if you want to consider that as well.
And the turret, that's true. They did actually get to use their Baron.
Even
if it was for only 1 tower, but...
Oh, SW finding Hamilton, hitting him with the Sigils of Malice and the chains, but he's going to quickly shadow to safety, but that means he's going to be off the map for another 20 seconds or so. However, Team 7 does not have the waves positioned or any objectives on the table to take away from that. But if SW can keep up this chunking game, where he neutralizes a player and forces them to stay on the outskirts of the fight, it could be a turning point for Team 7.
I have to berate Hamilton here. It doesn't matter if LeBlanc is behind. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Jixer might be getting caught out. The pillar slow to the rescue. Hamilton! I mean, not Hamilton. SW flashes in, lands the chain on Jixer, but the rest of the team is here to zone up. Oh my god, Boss flashes over the wall, hits the binding, however has to force Zani to avoid being instantly destroyed. America Korean getting caught up in the flame chompers. Hamilton is going over the wall with the shadows. He's gonna dodge the binding, or not the binding, the winner's bite. However, Mycroft throwing down the ultimate, slowing the path. America Korean way deep in the backline with no front line. However, Team 7 is such on the back foot. Siri could be going down here, but jumps to safety. Kurton tanking up the turret to make sure none of his buddies are in trouble, but Jetstone finds himself throwing the other team against a rock in a hard place. SW nuking him for some damage. Zoe gets hit up, but snipes him with the rocket. Siri the Empress, that's 1 reset, that's 2 resets, that's 3 resets. He gets the double kill. Kurton looking in trouble. Jetstone is here. However, he goes so low, is able to take one of them with him, but Jetstone, the lone survivor. There's 9 dead in the cute little Dino Gnar, or Ancient Gnar. He's not Dino, but he's the last one alive.
Man. So, props to Jetstone. He was very close to doing Mega in the middle of that fight, and he just kind of flanks. He comes up right beside the entirety of Zany Superstars and just is like, oh hey, there's a Hamilton here, and he has no health left. Guess who's dead now? He's all out of spells. And Hamilton, I have commended you for some of your stuff, and I started complaining when that team fight broke out. You have to respect LeBlanc, okay? You need a Hex Drinker. You need something to reduce that damage, because I understand that he's not a huge damage threat in your mind, but he can still kill you.
Yeah, even if you got a bunch of kills on Zed, you're still itemizing for offense. That means as long as SW can hit you with his abilities, you're gonna take significant amounts of damage. And I like your suggestion. Oh, but the boss catching out SW with the binding instantaneously has to pop Zonia's. America Korean probably gonna clean it up. Mycroft with the bro move gets the shield. Braum defending his team. SW just barely making it out alive, but Baron is on the table. Hamilton getting caught out by the zap and the boomerang, and Winter's Bite getting poked down by Baron.
So that was really risky from SW, but luckily Mycroft is here to kind of, clean him up a little bit, maybe wipe off his cheeks. Say, hey, everything's fine. Just, go heal up. Be back in a bit. We'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, using that big muscly body to defend his friends. What a guy.
Every time I see Braum, I have to imagine Armstrong and the Armstrong family name, and I really wish that there was a skin that was like that.
They really should make one. Full Metal Alchemist is gorgeous. It's such a good show.
Uh-oh.
Jixer getting caught out by Jetstone. Now SW and Siri are there to help clean up. Hamilton diving for Zoe. The death mark is cleansed instantaneously. That's 4 versus Kurtong. That crocodile is gonna become some shoes later on, or a purse. However, he's able to jump the wall and get to safety. Mega Death Rocket just barely missing. SW chasing the boss, but does not want to go into the jungle with that low health alone. Team 7 probably gonna be able to pick up their dragon here. Oh my god, Boss lands the binding onto Suri. American Korean's got the shield on, but he's not dishing out any damage. Mycroft zoning him off with the shield. He has to Valk away. The ult is down, but it whiffs completely. Could this be Siri picking up the kills? No, American Korean shuts him down, but he gets shut down by Zoe. Zoe dishing out as much damage as he can. SW caught between the Crocodile and Jinx. She's got double buffs. The Flame Choppers are out. SW needs to be careful to not get caught by a stray Q from Kurtong. Triple kill going over to Zoe, showing that champion mastery.
Wow, that was... We talk about, like, Vayne mechanics and, like, Ezreal mechanics and all that stuff. That was, like, as Jinx mechanics as one can get with Jinx. There was a lot of kiting, there was a lot of switching between rocket and minigun form to maximize the amount of DPS that he could get out safely, and SW managing to pull enough attention from Kurtong to kind of bait him around and say, hey, you can totally catch me. No, you can't, but maybe you can, but no, you can't really.
That was just amazing positioning from Zoe. It just, that's how AD carry needs to be played. You have to be attacking, stepping away. Just that spacing is so important.
It's a whole lot of maneuvering around and making sure that not just spacing, it's also maximizing your potential damage output. Oh, never mind.
Just a little bit of poking back and forth in the blue side jungle of Zani Superstars. Team 7 has the vision advantage over Baron. Mycroft taking chunks out. SW goes in, takes a little bit off of Boss's top, but it's not enough to discourage them or initiate the fight completely. So poking over the wall from safety. However, Jetstone is caught out in mini form. They might be going in on this. Kurtong waiting to pop the ultimate when he gets that opportunity. But Team 7 has most of their summoners. Whereas
Zani Superstars is still in a kind of a bad position.
They're doing a swell job of poking off of the bindings. Boss setting up a lot of these situations for them.
Looks like they're going to have to back off a little bit. There's a huge wave hitting their mid turret, and this might be the situation that Team 7 wants. They might be able to either pressure and get a kill or force the Baron fight.
And it looks like they're forcing the Baron. With America Korean down at the mid turret, Jetstone getting close to Mega, trying to zone off the team as best he can. SW's here as well. Baron is slain by Zoe. Red team in the fight explodes. Jetstone going so low. Jixer gets taken out. Kurtong is probably next on the list after Hamilton goes down. America Korean finds himself at the end of a pentakill. Oh my god, Zoe, what was that? They got the Baron, they get the pentakill, they've got a minion wave loaded in the mid lane. That's gotta be the inhibitor, if not more, with 30 seconds, 40 seconds on these death timers. Oh my gosh, talk about peeling for your AD carry.
So, I have to say, Zoe was in such a great spot that entire fight. He was just in the back of the Baron pit and nobody could reach him. If anybody got close, Jetstone and Mycroft were just peeling for him constantly. Every time somebody got too close, oh, guess what? You get hit by some crit rockets. Get too far away? That's okay. We have a lot of CC to keep you in place.
There's 5 seconds on the clock. Zani Superstar is about to be alive. However, the Baron minions and Zoe are destroying this Nexus. They are able to take the game. Team 7 turns it on a dime. They were losing the entire game. They turn it on this Baron play, and Zani Superstars finds himself defeated here in Week 4 against Team 7.
It's a fantastic play, a lot of back and forth, but like you said, Zani Superstars was ahead for most of that, and sure, we saw a lot of good play coming up from Team 7, but they started coming back near the end. There was a lot of really, really good play, and I have to say, I have to give it to Zhao. That was really good. Not just once, but like 3 times he came out ahead.
Man, just phenomenal team play from Team 7. They didn't put team in their name for no reason. They work around each other and their abilities. Not just the spells you can cast on the champions, but that innate synergy they showed in their team fighting that match was just honestly phenomenal.
Well, Caster's going to be taking a brief break while we get this next game set up. Catch you guys in a bit.